Hey there, Matt. It's been a while. I've got some good news. We're ready to let you go. We've realized there's nothing wrong with you at all, and these are perfectly normal reactions to watching Beastars. That's a relief. Because I just watched season 3 of Beastars. Doctor, I think I'm hallucinating.
Oh, hi there, I'm Legoshi, and I'm here to cure you.
I don't think you're gonna cure me. I think you're just gonna make the doctor think I'm crazy.
Nonsense! You're already crazy.
Doctor, please help me! Matt, please calm down. You're causing a ruckus for no reason. There's nothing there. Why don't you tell me about season 3 of Beastars, and then we'll figure out what's going on from there, and we'll let you go. Spoilers ahead for season 3 of Beastars. The season starts with Legoshi in his apartment moaning and groaning. He is dealing with meat withdrawal symptoms from eating Louis' leg at the end of season 2. The sound wakes up one of Legoshi's neighbors, Miss Seven, who goes to find out what is going on, but Legoshi ignores her. Later, Legoshi, now working for an udon restaurant, delivers food to Gohan, who is treating a dog with meat intoxication symptoms, but who also has no meat in their system at all. The two talk for a bit, and Gohan gives Legoshi some drugs to deal with the symptoms. He also tells Legoshi that since Legoshi now has a past record of devouring, he will be unable to marry a herbivore. Legoshi is upset at this, as he still wants to marry Haru. Meanwhile, the school's segregation policy is put into effect, and both carnivores and herbivore students seem to be alright with this. Jack gets a call from Legoshi's grandfather, who is looking for Legoshi after finding out that he dropped out of school. Meanwhile, Haru has started university and is hanging out with some friends when one of her friends introduces their new boyfriend, a lion. The people around them seem to be displeased and against cross-species couples, and Haru realizes that the world is more complicated than she once thought. Later, Miss Seven is annoyed with the sounds Legoshi is making every night and goes to check up on him. Legoshi tackles her and looks as though he wants to eat her. Meanwhile, the Shishigumi, who no longer have a leader with Louis gone, need to supply ivory to a shop owner for a hyperdrug they were trying to sell, but they can't supply the ivory. Someone else comes in with a lot of ivory, assaulting the shop owner and one of the Shishigumi's members, declaring himself the new boss of the Shishigumi. Later, Legoshi, trying not to eat Miss Seven still, eventually regains control. The two, seemingly unbothered by the events that just took place, talk about electricity for a bit. Meanwhile, Louis, now who has a prosthetic leg due to it being eaten by Legoshi in the last season, starts university but is interrupted by two students who are drinking an energy drink called Kines. The students attack Louis, but Louis takes them down with ease. He meets up with Juno and shows her his new leg, and Juno kisses him. Louis is flustered by this, most likely due to his closeted love for Legoshi. Meanwhile, one of the lions from the Shishigumi are also drinking a can of Kines. This lion attacks the rest of the Shishigumi, but they manage to subdue him. Their new boss explains that Kines contains flesh and blood of herbivores, only a tiny bit, and that the drink will drive people to go to the black market to satisfy their meat urge. Kines is Viagra. Later, some carnivores get attacked by 500 rats pretending to be a person. They rob the carnivores, but one of the rats gets captured by the police. A horse named Yaya, who happens to be the Beastar, stops the police and saves the rat. It's revealed that Yaya is working with the rat to find out where Kines is coming from. Later, Legoshi gets his first paycheck, but is stopped by some carnivores who try to sell him Kines. Legoshi walks away from the sellers, planning on letting it be, but he sees a vision of Louis who tells him to fight. So Legoshi takes this advice and fights the sellers. After a short brawl, Legoshi wins. Later at school, the drama club, which is now led by Bill the Tiger, try to figure out how they will function with segregation in place. Juno tells everyone they should continue the club, even if they need to split it in half between the carnivores and the herbivores. Pina, not liking this idea, decides to leave, as he was only part of the club for the thrill of working with carnivores. Later, the rat tells Yaya about a wolf who fought off sellers. It's revealed that Yaya was actually reading about Legoshi in his file, because he was interested in the leg-devouring incident. Meanwhile, Legoshi is walking home when he sees a lizard. He thinks this is the lizard he fought off yesterday who was selling him the drink. But before he can react, the lizard puts his sticky goo inside of Legoshi. It's revealed that this is actually his grandpa, and since the venom of Komodo dragon doesn't affect their own kind, the goo has no effect on Legoshi. The two go to dinner together and Legoshi offers to sit by the door. The grandpa reluctantly agrees. He usually sits near the back to avoid any problems. Since he is a lizard, people don't like him. The two get interrupted by a flock of birds who start trouble. Legoshi steps up and a fight almost starts, but the shop owner steps in and stops it. Legoshi and the grandpa walk together, but Legoshi gets attacked by the bird gang. His grandpa steps in and fights them off, leaving Legoshi to wonder who his grandpa truly is. Legoshi and his grandpa beat up the birds and leave. Later, the birds wake up and one of them drinks Kina's and attacks the other birds. He is stopped by Yaya, however, and the birds explain they got attacked by an old lizard. We see a flashback where we learn that Yaya had a partner, a lizard named Gosha. We learn the two worked together to try and change the world. And one day, after saving a wolf, Gosha fell in love. Within a day, Gosha and the wolf started to date. Eventually, Gosha got the wolf pregnant, and so he decided to stop working with Yaya and focus on his family. Yaya got upset by this and views Gosha as a traitor.
You traitor!
Back in the present, Yaya reveals Gosha is Legoshi's grandpa. Later, Legoshi is tasked with delivering food to an aquatic animal. However, he can't speak ocean language.
Apupupuopi, bebe berobu, pom porobu. That's the only thing you have to say.
Huh?
Regardless, Legoshi tries to deliver it, but the fish bites him. A seal sees this and steps in and introduces himself as Sagwan. He tells Legoshi they live in the same apartment building. He helps Legoshi out and the two talk. Sagwan explains that
all the creatures of the sea we must eat and we must be eaten.
Sagwan invites Legoshi over for tea, and Legoshi goes, finding Sagwan completely naked. Legoshi goes to tell him to put on clothes, reasonably, but stops, realizing he likes naked seals, so he tells him to stay naked. Later, on a delivery, Legoshi runs into Louis. Legoshi sees Louis's leg and feels guilty. Legoshi tells him he thought his actions were driven by honor, that taking on the injustices of life was his duty as a carnivore. But in reality, it's just because he's a pervert. Louis tells him everyone already knew that but Legoshi. He also tells him he's wrong. If there's something he wants to protect, then it is true justice. Meanwhile, the Shishigumi are sent to a civet who gives them coffee. The civet tells them they are drinking his poop, and he can make a drug called Melda, or deer dung, with it. So he tells the Shishigumi to go through a maze and collect his poop. Later, Legoshi gets invited to dinner by Yaya. Legoshi goes and is given carrots by him. Yaya asks him what he thinks the Beastars' true purpose is. Legoshi tells him that the Beastar should be someone who represents everyone, both carnivores and herbivores, gives them all something to be inspired by. Yaya disagrees, saying it's something more realistic. It's someone who exacts law and order. Legoshi disagrees with this, enjoying life's imperfections. Yaya tells him that when you become a Beastar, you get one wish granted, no matter how absurd it may be. He then tells Legoshi that the carrots he ate were fertilized with the bodies of carnivores. He then kicks Legoshi off a balcony and demands Legoshi beg for forgiveness and apologize for being born a carnivore. Legoshi apologizes and asks for forgiveness. He also rips out his own fangs for some reason, claiming,
I don't need fangs.
He then punches Yaya, sending him into a table. Legoshi apologizes for punching Yaya and runs away. Later, Legoshi wakes up at Gohan's clinic with his mouth swollen. Due to the swelling, he is unable to speak, so he writes on a notepad. He tells Gohan he ripped his fangs out and punched Yaya. He also tells Gohan Kina's is a meat narcotic. After telling Gohan everything through a written report, he tells Legoshi that Yaya used to have a partner named Gosha, and Legoshi realizes his grandpa worked with Yaya. Meanwhile, Yaya is looking into the ivory theft, and he notices a secret hole in a building where an elephant was found dead. He finds out that a gazelle is the thief. Later, Gohan gives Legoshi a pair of fangs, and Legoshi reluctantly accepts them. After announcing he's a virgin, of course, because that needs to happen once a season. Later, Yaya goes to a building and gets himself caught by the thief, who reveals himself as Melon. He tranks Yaya, sending him into the pit. Haru hears the police and finds her friend had been attacked by a lion. Haru reflects on Legoshi and how much she loves him. She goes to Legoshi's job to celebrate his birthday. Because, her friend just got attacked by a carnivore, so, hey, let me go to a carnivore who's tried to eat me before. That always goes well. Legoshi tells Haru that he ate Louie's leg, but Haru doesn't mind this at all. The two go on a date together and Legoshi tells her everything. About Riz, Louie, Yaya, everything. After chatting, Haru demands Legoshi takes her to the black market. He reluctantly takes her, but is nervous about her safety. Legoshi wants to leave, but Haru goes to a shop labeled Rabbit. In the store, there are lots of rabbit bodies. Haru tells Legoshi that part of her hates being defenseless. That's why she turned to sex as an outlet in the past. But now she's safe, and she doesn't need to be reckless because she's with Legoshi. Haru, finding the place romantic, asks Legoshi to kiss her right there.
Will you kiss me? Right here? Please kiss me. Let go of everything else out there. Only you and I exist now.
Legoshi is confused and tells her he can't marry her, and therefore he doesn't want to kiss her. Haru says she doesn't care about marriage, but Legoshi says he cares. He wants a family. He wants kids. He wants to wait and figure things out at his own pace. The store owner asks them if they need help, and Haru asks,
How much would it be for me? How much would my meat cost? Name your price and the wolf will buy it.
Legoshi is confused, and Haru is confused that Legoshi is confused, so the two leave. Meanwhile, Louie gets a colleague to run tests on Kines. Later, Legoshi finds a festival happening and finds out Yaya is dead. Meanwhile, Yaya is actually alive and tells the rat to search for Melon, who's a mix. He's part carnivore, part herbivore. Yaya learns that Melon is the boss of the Shishigumi. The Shishigumi collect the new drug and bring it to the hideout. The rats find an invitation to a masquerade party and tell Yaya about it. Yaya plans to go to the party. Later, Legoshi returns to his apartment and finds Yaya standing there. Legoshi is glad Yaya isn't dead, and Yaya offers Legoshi $10 million to help him find and take down Melon. Legoshi declines the money, but Yaya mentions he might need it in the future if he wants to start a family with a small little rabbit. Legoshi asks why he brought him this, and Yaya explains it's to show Legoshi a glimpse into his future. A cautionary tale about what interspecies relationships bring. Legoshi reflects on mixed species children, like his mom, and his and Haru's children if they have any. Later, Legoshi arrives at a club with Yaya, who introduces him to a dancer. Legoshi will be acting as her chaperone, known as Haru O. Yaya tells Legoshi they are looking for Melon, who is part gazelle, part leopard. He also tells Legoshi that in exchange for his help, he will remove Legoshi's record of devouring. At the party, everyone is in masks, and they struggle to find Melon. Legoshi needs to take a piss and finds a gazelle in the washroom. After pissing, he finds a very nasty urinal he wants to smell, oh yes, and determines that the gazelle is actually Melon from this. He follows Melon onto the rafters of the building, where he tells Yaya where he is. Melon catches Legoshi off guard, and the two talk. Melon realizes Legoshi is also a mix. Legoshi tells Melon that his mom killed herself when he was 12. After a short chat, Melon decides, fuck this, and shoots Legoshi in the chest. Legoshi falls onto the party floor below. Later, Louie looks over a report of Kines. He learns the drink needs a catalyst to initiate the narcotic-like symptoms, something exclusive to carnivores. Louie goes to find a specialist who can help figure out Kines, but stumbles into the black market where the Shishigumi find him. The Shishigumi, remembering they promised to kill Louie if he ever showed up in the black market, trail him for a bit. After trailing him, they catch up to him, ready to kill him. But when they are about to shoot, his antlers fall off. The Shishigumi laugh, saying they don't recognize him anymore, so they don't need to kill him. They take Louie back to the hideout and talk for a bit. He tells them he's looking for Kupi Luwak. But Melon shows up, and the lions hide Louie. Melon brings the lions ahead of a lion, and Melon is upset they don't have food ready for him. So he stabs one of the lions in the hand with a fork. He says he knows there's an outsider in here, and he demands they bring him out. And right when Louie is about to step out, a lion grabs his antlers, saying he ate a deer. He apologizes to Melon, and Melon leaves. Louie leaves soon after. Meanwhile, Legoshi wakes up in the hospital, remembering what happened. Just kidding, he has an out-of-body experience, obviously. He wonders if he's dead, and regrets not kissing Haru. He hears his mom's voice, and he's surprised she's here. The two talk, and his mom tells him a story. She used to be a model, and she hid the fact she was part Komodo dragon by hiding Gosha from the world. Gosha didn't mind this, of course, as she loved her. One day, patches of scales showed up on her body. It was a rare genetic disorder that manifested with her age. She considered herself an abomination, both scales and fur, but neither lizard nor wolf. Before she killed herself, she went to Legoshi to snuggle with him for a bit. She regrets not saying anything to him. Legoshi reveals he was actually awake that night. He regrets not saying anything, but he thought both her scales and her fur were beautiful. He thought not saying anything would have been easier on her. She tells him that if she knew that, maybe things would have changed. She also tells him it's important he reaches out to all the mixed beasts in the world, in his own way. Legoshi knows exactly what to do. He wakes up, leaves the hospital, goes to his mom's grave, where he howls at the moon. Louis arrives at the specialist's lab and finds the same civet that sold the Shishigumi his poop. Louis finds out the drink only activates narcotic symptoms if the carnivore has previously consumed meat. Later, Legoshi is eager to find Melon, but Yaya tells him that Legoshi can no longer be a part of it as he's worried for his safety. But Legoshi refuses to accept this and takes the only piece of evidence they have, a mask Melon wore. After leaving, he goes to a bathhouse where Sagwan is. Sagwan teaches Legoshi some ocean language, meaning, I am Legoshi, the great gray wolf, and another phrase that he doesn't tell Legoshi the meaning of. The two leave, and we learn Melon is trailing Legoshi around. Later, Melon goes to a tattoo parlor to cover up his leopard prints.
You're just too stinking slow and stupid.
Legoshi follows the scent of the mask to the parlor later on, where he finds a sloth. Due to the sloth's slow nature, it's still responding to Melon, who is now long gone. Legoshi sticks around to hear what the sloth has to say. The sloth mentions the droplet of the Reaper, and Legoshi goes to investigate what that is. He finds out it's a rock formation. Meanwhile, Louis goes to meet the Beastar at the police headquarters, but is denied entry. So Louis climbs the stairs. He has to pick a lock, which is the only thing this entire show censors. Louis ends up getting caught by security, one of whom is drinking Kines. So he attacks Louis. But Yaya stops the fight, freeing Louis. Louis tells the Beastar everything about Kines. And Yaya says, do it yourself, bitch. So Louis hijacks a new broadcast to tell the world about Kines. Later, Legoshi arrives at the droplet of the Reaper. Legoshi takes a moment to reflect. He wishes to take all his friends to the beach, Jack and his other friends, and Haru too. He reflects on his own past, but he also wonders how lonely Melon must be. After all, it must be hard to be part her. Legoshi gets shot in his ear this time, and Melon reveals it was a setup. He had planted the conversation so that the sloth would say exactly what was needed to lure Legoshi here.
It was all a trap!
They tie Legoshi up and bring him near a cliff, where they throw him off, strapped to a chair. Legoshi falls into the depths, and the screen cuts to black. And that's the end of Beastars Season 3. Well, Matt, I've got some really good news for you that I think you'll enjoy. After listening to your explanation of Beastars Season 3, I can confidently say that you are not insane, and you're free to go. That's really good news, Doc, but, where the fuck are we, and where did the cell go? Well, Matt, you see, the green screen budget for this video ran out. What the fuck are you talking about? What green screen? Well, at the beginning of this video, it was mentioned that the green screen was having trouble with the editing program that the editor, me, was using. So, yeah, we had to scrap it for this segment. I don't know what you are talking about, but the good news is I no longer see Legoshi. That's good, Matt. Now you go watch something that won't make you crazy.
Sniff, sniff. That's a good toilet.